Hi gorgeous, this is my Novak, of course, and today in this video I'm gonna talk about what to do when you hear that famous sentence, there's nothing you can do about it. And the reason why I decided to do this video today is because in the last few weeks I had quite a few conversations with potential clients and clients, and they are hearing from their doctors very often, well, now there's nothing you can do about it, so just accept this and this is it. And I don't completely agree with this. So there are usually three situations, the most common situations or scenarios when you hear that you cannot do anything about something, so about your injury or about your healing. So situation number one is when it's right after an injury or right after a surgery, or you just got a cast on and it's like, well, now you cannot do anything about it, so let's just wait for the bones to mend and then you will start doing something. And I had not so long time ago the first session with my private clients. She also said that, well, you know, my doctor told me that I cannot do anything about this right now. And I'm gonna come back right after I tell you about the two other situations. So this was scenario number one. Scenario number two is when you hear about diagnosis. So something happened, and let me use an example of avascular necrosis. And why I'm using this example is because that was also a potential for my broken and dislocated talus bone. This is also what I heard. And you know, when something starts happening, when your bone starts to die off, you also hear, well, there is nothing you can do about it. However, down the road, it might be in a few months, it might be in a few years, yes, you will need a surgery, a replacement surgery, and this is the only thing that you can actually do. Otherwise, you cannot do anything about it. Now, and then the third scenario is when you hear about the potential outcome. And I'm gonna again use my situation, my example. One of the things that I also heard was, well, there is a possibility of you developing osteoarthritis and there's nothing you can do about it. So now, what I told you about the client, that first conversation that we had on the first session, yes, it's true that physically, especially right at the beginning, you cannot do a lot. So especially if we're talking about you being in a cast, and if we're talking about leg injury, for example, yes, you might not be able to walk around or, you know, run around or whatever physically. However, physical part of the recovery is just one part of the recovery. It's not the whole thing. There are absolutely a lot of things that you can do in that time. So I don't agree that there is nothing you can do about it. There are a lot of things that you can do in that period of time. Either, you know, when you are waiting for your bones to mend, or when you get diagnosis, or when you hear about potential outcome, there are things that you can do. Now, a lot of times people then also ask me, well, is there a guarantee that this is gonna work? Let me tell you, there are no guarantees in this life. I mean, also, if you had a surgery, you know that you had to sign the papers, and there was very specifically written as well that surgery might not be successful. So there are no guarantees. However, what I can tell you is that when you take your healing power back, when you bet on yourself, when you do the mindful work, when you deal with your emotions, with your thoughts, with your perception, when you let go of what is not serving you, when you are working on the things that are happening on the inside, this is going to also manifest on the outside in that situation in your body. So there is a possibility, a big possibility, that something does change when you do the work. However, a very important thing is also what you believe, because it's more important what you believe that you can do about something, so about your healing and about your injury, than what you hear in your doctor's office. So in that regard, oh, there's nothing you can do about it. You can do a lot, but you have to bet on yourself. And this is a very, very scary part, because a lot of times we don't want to take that responsibility, but that doesn't mean that there are not things possible for you. And with our conscious and also subconscious decisions, we are either moving towards what we want or we are moving away from what we want. And there are countless possibilities of your future. Now, with your decisions, you are either going towards the direction that you want or you're not going towards that direction. And in regards to, what to do. So what is it possible to do in that regard? Well, a lot of things. Like I said, working on your emotional state, mental state, spiritual state, with your thoughts, with your perception, with your how you're dealing with fears, with worries, with anxiety, with anger, with everything that is happening. So in your inner world, on the inside, when you are working on these things, this absolutely is changing the biochemistry of your body, and then this affects your physical body and how your body is healing. So it can be better or it can be worse. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, especially if you had any kind of complications or anything. It's not like, oh, this is your fault, so you did something wrong. No. But when we become aware of something, that we do possess this power, this healing power, we can turn things around. We cannot be responsible for something that we did not know, or I'm not saying that it's your guilt or that it's your fault or anything like that. However, when we become aware, we can start changing. And yes, changing the biochemistry of your body, absolutely, it affects how your body heals. So what can you do? What I just described and some of the techniques, some of the practices that you can work on are healing meditation, healing visualization, and they are also backed up with studies. Science is slowly catching up, that's what I want to say, catching up with things that healers have been doing for centuries, or some healing techniques are around for thousands and thousands of years, and science is now slowly catching up. So yes, we do have also studies that show how beneficial healing meditation is, or visualization, or for example EFT, emotional freedom technique, and so on. So there are things that you can absolutely do, but you have to decide that you want to do that. Because if you just, if you accept that there is nothing that you can do about it, then you're giving your power away. It's like taking a scissors and cut off the wings, and now you cannot fly. Of course, there are no wings. So the magic happens when you take this healing power back, or better to say, when you unleash it. Because we all possess this incredible healing power. When we unleash it, everything is possible. For more information, go to my website, novak.com, and there you can also schedule a healing assessment call where we will go deeper into this and where we will start unleashing this healing power that you possess so that you can really recover in the most amazing way. I hope this helps, and sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye bye.